the Montreal Canadiens earlier today, they made several moves, one of which was they acquired winger Zachary Bolduc in exchange for defenseman Logan Mailloux, a right-handed defenseman. What can you tell us? We've heard a lot about Bolduc. I know Pierre and Simon know a thing or two. What can you tell us as someone who watched them from very close?
Yeah, I love the player, honestly. Zach Bolduc, the first year he came down here, he didn't show out very well in training camp. The coaching staff talked to him about rounding out his game, becoming more of a 200-foot player. And, that's pretty natural when you have a scoring player that's playing junior hockey. Very seldom are they asked to play a lot of team defense. But I'll give credit to Zack. He went to work, man. He went to work in the gym. He got bigger. He got faster. He got stronger. And then you could slowly see the development of Zack over the time that he was up here last year. And then the season that just passed, it was unbelievable to see how he just exploded onto the scene. This kid skates very well, great edge work, super strong on his feet. He's added a physical element to his game where he was one of our most aggressive players down here in St. Louis, finishing hits all over the ice. And because he's got good footwork, he can get there and make those hits. Then the flip side of that, the offensive side of the game, I think he's just scratching the surface as to what he truly can be. He should have easily had over 20 goals. Had Jim Montgomery been the head coach all season long, Zach Bolduc would have had 25 to 30 goals for sure.
Wow.
He's got a lethal one-timer. I mean, he's got it on the stick, off the stick, whether it's a full one-timer or just that little sweeper, like the old Steve Thomas, the stumpy sweeper. He's got that going, and goalies just have a really hard time picking up the puck. Got great offensive instincts. And I think the one thing that, quite honestly, might be the best thing of all, and Pierre, you'll know this, you're a former coach and all that, is the kid is super coachable. He's like a sponge. Anything you tell him, he wants to make the coaches happy. He wants to make the right plays. He's in the video room. He's asking questions. He's listening to teammates. Montreal Canadiens got one hell of a player today.
Former NHLer Jamie Rivers is a radio host with 101 ESPN and also St. Louis Blues TV analyst, so he knows him very, very well. Pierre McGuire, the player that Jamie's talking about, saying if Jim Montgomery was the coach at the beginning of the year, he would have scored between 25 and 30. Well, Zachary Bolduc played on the third line with the St. Louis Blues last year, but if he could score between 25 and 30, we're no longer talking about a third-line player, Pierre.
No, but you got to fit him into your roster. I love what Jamie said. And by the way, Jamie would have had a longer NHL career if he'd gone to St. Lawrence University and played for us. So I'll just say that right now.
I appreciate that, Pierre.
His brother Sean, and Jamie should have come and played for us too, but that's another story for another day. I watched Zachary Bolduc the first time he ever played, in my eyes anyways, was with Rimouski, and then he got moved to Quebec, and he had 105 goals in his 2 years playing in Quebec. I always thought he was a really good scorer. The physicality part that Jamie just talked about is a new addition to his game, and it's really imperative that he continues to do that. He can't lose identity as a player. I don't think he will. I think coming to Montreal is going to be huge for him. This was a really good move for St. Louis because they need – and Jamie can speak to this too. And Snake, you're aware as well. The truth of the matter is, yeah, they got Colton Parayko there, but when they lost Alex Pietrangelo in free agency to Vegas, they lost the right side of their defense. People don't talk about that enough. And, they got Torrey Krug out of Boston. He's been injured. People forget about the hard problem for Jay Bouwmeester. St. Louis's defense been injured and broken up for a long time. Jamie can speak to that. But I'll just tell you right now, getting Logan Mailloux is going to help St. Louis, but getting Zachary Bolduc's really going to help Montreal too. This is a trade that helps both teams. It really does.
Gentlemen, I think we could say hello to a former NHLer now with the NHL Network, Jason Demers. Are you there?
What's going on, everybody?
Welcome. How are you? Long time no speak. I hope you're doing well, Jason.
Yeah,
I saw that
you got me off the golf course in 100-degree heat. So
got it. I saw that you were you had an opinion on the trade earlier today on Application X. So I'd like to talk to you about it based on what I read. You love Bolduc, huh?
I mean, yeah, I heard a little bit of Pierre talking, and he hit it on the head. I think the physicality that he's added to his game, unfettered, dirty. I kind of love that in the playoffs. He kind of got away from himself a little bit in the playoffs, and it turned undisciplined. But, you can't find a guy that has a release like that and can play that nasty young guy. And I think if you just figures out how to toe the line. And I think a guy like Josh Anderson could be a great mentor to him on how to toe the line with that physicality. But I mean, he's great in the bumper, and that's a hard position to play on the power play. And I think for the second unit, it'll be great for Montreal. I think offensively, he's going to help them in the bottom six. They lost some character guys, I think, in Christian Dvorak and Emil Heineman. They needed to replace that. And I think, Bolduc's a massive upgrade from Emil Heineman. And I think it's really going to help this team. So I'm excited for it.
That clip you just watched is from our most recent episode of the Sick Podcast. Once again, follow us on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's absolutely free, and you'll be notified when we go live.